Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Mornings with Loretta. So, today we are exploring the power of art to heal, connect, and change lives. So, my guest this morning, I watched the screener, and let me tell you, if I did not already want to know more about them, I certainly do now. So, help me welcome Mike Norice and Chris Walters to Mornings with Loretta. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Hi, Loretta. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Absolutely. I feel like I already know you, Mike, because I promise you, I was taking deep notes. I was so engaged and focused on that documentary. I was definitely inspired. So you've been in this game for a while at different levels. I have a person that's near to my heart who loves Sonic. And when I saw that Sonic tennis shoe you did, I was all in. I'm like, this is my friend. This is my people. What
Yeah,
inspired
yeah. I'm sorry. What was the question? You broke out.
I was saying, what inspired you to start transforming a regular nondescript tennis shoe into some art that people around the world want?
Well, that was part of my customizing store, Break Your Neck Urban Customs, that I had for 18 years. So we did custom shoes, specialized in custom shoes and custom clothing. And that was, my life prior to doing the murals and the artwork in the community. So I've always wanted to utilize my art and have a fashion brand based around my art. And that was just, one of the things that I came up with.
Wow. So you were a brand before you became this brand, and your murals are breathtaking, so positive. So it's like genius, right? How a word can transform minds, hearts, communities. So, Chris, what was it that drew you to Mike's story? Did you already know him prior to saying, we got to document this and put it out to the world?
Yeah, I met Mike walking into his store on Melrose way back in 2013. I live in the great state of Maine. I was out in Los Angeles trying to push some short films and a narrative feature that I had written and produced and acted in. But it was the last day of the trip. Was a little discouraged that the trip hadn't gone better, to be honest, and was drawn into his store by the amazing artwork. To your point, Loretta, on the side of Air Force One shoes, and these were like, just masterpieces. Uh, and didn't leave the store without buying a couple of pairs and commissioning another pair. We stayed in touch. I ordered some more shoes over time, and then it blossomed into a friendship ultimately from being a customer relationship where Mike would invite me out to Los Angeles when he'd be doing events there at the spot on Melrose. I brought him out to Maine at least 10 times just for mural commissions. And then he's also been out a number of other times. Became friends. He was already very involved with California Ceasefire Committee. He was already speaking at schools. He was already being commissioned by schools. So when he wanted to take his activism all around the Los Angeles area with a 20 mural tour of positive messages, it was at a point in life and in my career where I wanted to do something more important and more positive and devote both the resources of time and attention and money towards something important. And that was 2016. So it took the better part of 10 years to make this film. He's 14 murals deep into the tour at this moment. And it was a real honor to tell his incredible family of origin story along with following him around with his activism.
And I think that is genius and brilliant because you're telling the 360 story of how it happened, why it happened. Here is why we do it, and then you also have results already. So, Mike, what were you thinking? Did you had this idea, or what was the inspiration for the idea? Let's do 20 murals in the cities that people only talk about in negative ways or know negative stories about it, and you were risking your life to me from me being sheltered, right, watching. I'm like, oh my god, anything could happen. So what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking of giving back to the community in which I grew up in. And, these communities need a level of hope, inspiration, and a message, and that was just one of the things to beautify these communities with beautiful murals that not only show artwork, but it's giving a message. And these are the forgotten communities, and it's just talking to that street or that corner or whatever message that you want to kind of perceive from it. But it's when you're going to school, when you're going to work, you know, you're having a bad day, you're having a good day, you're reading these messages. And I did a lot of street work, you know, prior to doing an engagement, prior to doing each wall. So these communities, they are dangerous, I would say, but I think everything can be changed just through conversation and communication. And I think these murals are doing all of those things.
Wow. So the first wall, they're so beautiful. And forgiveness. And I was watching how I couldn't see the vision until I saw the vision, right? I could not see how you were going to make what I saw turn into what became born. So forgiveness. And then because I have a book called Live Like You Believe, and then you put that wall believe up, I'm like, I'm so in. I got to meet Mike in person. I've got to meet his family. I love how you weave your personal story of struggle, of family, of community, your mom, your dad, your sisters, and your children. And you're going to do something bigger than all of that, because it's going to give way beyond your years and my years here. So when people see your art in the film, what do you want them to believe, Mike and Chris? What do you all, because that's a lot. We're saying a lot in a little amount of time, but what do you want people to start believing and doing after watching this beautiful documentary?
I want them ultimately, or each individual, to believe in themselves. Believe that whatever you want to do, you can do. You just got to put your best foot forward, and just be inspired to just do that, you know, and be true to yourself and never give up on your dreams. So that's it.
I want people to be inspired also, Loretta. I want people to be encouraged, but I also want this to be a catalyst for people taking action. And so I think Mike makes very clear that it's a call to action as well, that you start from the point at which you're able. And heroes aren't always necessarily people, you know, pulling people from burning buildings. You know, we feature his mom, who was a 31-year school teacher. We talk about his sister, who's a physician, but also does tremendous activism with reentry to society from people that have been serving prison sentences. It's a call to action. But hope is not possible without belief. Belief is not significant unless there's action that accompanies it. Mike and his family are a tremendous example of what you can do, even in the United States in 2025, if you start from what you know, and if you get in where you fit in and you do what you can to help the community.
Well, Mike, I do not have enough time. I'm going to have to find you and do more time, because people need to hear this story. It is one of the most inspiring, encouraging, strong, powerful stories. And I run across them a lot. I'm not just saying this, but it resonated with me on so many levels. It resonated with my heart, my soul, my mind, my desires to see better. And for people to show up, like you said, I don't want people to leave Watts. I want them to have a different mentality and a different love, and to remember when. I want that for them, because if you're taking the same humanity into another city or zip code, what changes if you don't change? So I'm telling you, Mike, I'm there. I want to see more of this. I want to do what I can to share. So the film premieres at theaters and later on demand. What moments, I can't even ask it because we got to go. So where can they watch this documentary? Where can they find you? Where can they keep up, and where can they support?
Well, they can follow me on Mike Norice. That's my socials, MikeNorice, and also follow the Artfully United documentary page. It's all on social media, so that's where you can get all the information for everything.
All right, look for my name to start showing up where your name is, because I'm going to follow. And I've never been to Watts. I never even thought about it until I watched it. You had the mayors, senators, you had celebrities, you got everybody, to drug dealers, gangbangers. You're unifying it. So Artfully United, I love it. And it's going to do big things, big things. Thank you all so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Loretta.
Thanks, Chris. Bye for now. So I'm telling you, very few, well, a lot of stories captured my heart, but this caught my heart, my attention, my soul, and it resonated with me so much that somebody was using their own skills and talents, not from a victim perspective or anything like that. He said, I came from here, but I'm going there. And not only am I going, but I'm going to uplift other people. I'm going to put my messages everywhere, even if it means I may be injured or I may make some people angry, because he knew, and he's also a man of faith, right? So he is doing the thing that we're all called to do. You do it afraid, and everything else will happen, because it's God's job. Anyway, we have more Mornings with Loretta coming up, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you on the other side of this commercial.